Welcome students. This is a new video on the chapter The Testament of a Walker by R.K. Narayanan, and I have divided this lesson into two parts. So this is the first part of the video. Now let us see about the author. So the author of this essay, The Testament of a Walker, is R.K. Narayan, and we all know about him. R.K. Narayan was a leading author of Indian literature in English. He is well known for his works set in the fictional South Indian town of Malgudi, and he was conferred the Sahitya Akademi Award for his novel The Guide in 1960. His writing style was marked by simplicity and subtle humor. His stories focused on ordinary people and everyday situations. Okay, now coming to about the essay. So what this essay is exactly about? So this essay, that is The Testament of a Walker, is from Narayan's collections of essay titled A Writer's Nightmare. So The Testament of a Walker was taken from Narayan's collections of essay, and the name of that collection was A Writer's Nightmare. And the essay is in the first person and takes a humorous look at the ooze faced by the author who owns an imported car. Actually, in this essay, we will see the speaker itself is the author, that is R.K. Narayan, and he tells us about his difficulties in a very humorous way uh, of owning an imported car. And since he was a devout walker, he believes in walking, that man's ultimate destiny lies in walking, and we are gifted with a pair of legs which are capable of actually functioning without petrol or gears. And R.K. Narayan has to bear a lot of expenses by owning that imported car. He has to shed with his savings in order to maintain that car, and he thinks that it was actually his most thoughtless decision to own that imported car. And ultimately he realized that he was in no need of such a car, and he decides to shut down this car in his garage and give his energy on writing again. In the very beginning of the essay, we see that R.K. Narayan owns an imported car, and he very clearly states that by quirk of fate he come to own a sophisticated car, and he even stated that he was in no need of such a car, but out of luck he got that. And now he said that for him a car is just only a means to an end, and he is satisfied with it if he is provided with a, a steering wheel and four wheels which can roll into. Now that car was, since that car was an imported one, and it had all its flashy gadgets, fixed on the dashboard of the car, and it had very special features installed in it, and it was some sort of an object which created awe and ecstasy among the auto pundits when they looked into his car. And here it is already mentioned about the sophisticated things like the push button glass raiser, floating seats, multicolored speedometer, tape recorder, digital alarm with calculator. All these things were there on the dashboard of that sophisticated car. But R.K. Narayan was completely ignorant of the fact that he had so much of sophisticated and fleshy things in his car, and he never ever tried to use them also. And since he said that it was a kind of a car who created awe and ecstasy among the auto pundits who saw it. And he also particularly mentions about the air conditioner. The air conditioner actually which was supposed to make one's journey free from dust and heat noise, and that air conditioner was actually switched on during the 10 years he used the car for a total period of around 30 minutes, and which worked out less than 3 minutes a year. Now, that was a very peculiar kind of a thing when we see the uses of the air conditioner. And he here tells us about his driver who had actually such a peculiar habit that he used to gesticulate at erring pedestrians, means he used to shout at the pedestrians, and he used to address them volubly in passing. And he never tried to use that air conditioner, because whenever he does so he has to raise the glass of the car, and this actually made him feel a bit constricted while he was driving that car, because it inhibited him from practicing all his weird habits. And he felt that he was encapsulated or he was tongue tied, and he drove it very morosely. So Narayan owned that imported car, but after owning that car, he also faced a lot of difficulties in maintaining that car. And since he lacked automobile sensibility, or he didn't have any interest on it, so he felt that it was of no use to him. And that is the reason why he said that it is only by luck that I have owned that car. But now he feels that he was in not need of such an imported car. For him, an automobile is just a means to an end. Now, since R.K. Narayan lacks automobile sensibility, and he had to face lot of difficulties after owning that imported car, and which he also felt that it was of no use to him, he ultimately now realized, or he now rediscovered the use of his feet. And he tells us that he doesn't even regret also that he lacks automobile sensibility, or he lacks interest in automobiles, even though he has a very sophisticated car. And he strongly believes that men's ultimate destiny lies in walking, as we are given a pair of legs by God which can operate without petrol or gears. And he now talks about the philosophy of walking, which makes him very much indifferent to the idea of petrol hike. Now, petrol hike, it means the rise in price of petrol. And he says that a time will come where people have to pay a huge price, like in order to travel 1 kilometer, they have to pay 1000 rupees, which is too costly. And at that time, people will rediscover the use of his feet. And they will rediscover the use of his feet because it doesn't require any penny to travel anywhere, and it also works without petrol or gear. And he said that this petroleum hike, or the rise in price of petroleum, will end after reaching a point where it can't hike any further. It will reach to a point, and when people will rediscover the use of his feet, they will stop using petroleum. And at that point, the petroleum wells will be stagnant, and it will not be used by any human being in order to travel anywhere. So the author here, he believes too much in walking, and he said that he was also planning to write one of his ambitious work, and even the title for his work was also ready, that was Testament of a Walker, but he could not complete it. And the reason behind is that he said that the philosophy behind walking is so wide that it cannot be concluded in one single book. So that's the reason why actually he didn't completed his ambitious work, even though the title was ready. Now, he talks about his behavior of walking every day. He tells that he walks 10 miles a day, both in the morning and in the evening. And during bad weather, like if he is prevented from going outdoors, what he does is that he used to continue his habit of walking even in his own veranda. And in his veranda, he used to walk to and fro there, and it presents a very odd spectacle because it seems like a bear is walking to and fro in his own cage. And he considers himself to be a fanatic, and a fanatic is a person who holds very strong belief regarding a particular thing. And since he was a devout walker and he believes in walking in too much, so he tells us that for a fanatic like him, for a person like him who believes in walking, and that sort of a person who owns a sophisticated car, is an anachronism. Anachronism means something which is quite old fashioned, or you can say which is traditionally very old. And for a person like him who holds such sort of philosophies, having an imported car is irrelevant and nuisance. He considers that for a person like me who believes in some old philosophies, for a person like me, owning an imported car is completely irrelevant and it is of no use. So ultimately he rediscovers the use of his feet, who works without petrol or gear. Okay. Now, after rediscovering the use of his feet, and now he talks about how he actually loses his privacy and anonymity by owning that imported car. And basically, R.K. Narayan was that sort of a person who usually avoids public engagements. And he tells us that the two important things in his life, that is privacy and anonymity, which he holds very close to himself, and he doesn't want others to know about him. So like he tells that both these treasures are lost when he travels in a flashy and an imported car. Now, since he lived in a very small city like Mysore, and where the movement, where each and every movement of each and every one is known by all, so a person who owns an imported and a sophisticated car is well known by everyone in that small city. And he says that whenever I travel in my imported car, it seems that I lose my privacy and anonymity. People come to know about me, who I am, where I am traveling, and where I stay. So all these things he doesn't want to disclose to others. And he says, or he compares, that while sitting in that under that car, it feels that I am sitting in a howdah on an elephant bag, and I'm hoping that people will not notice me. This is completely weird, traveling on an elephant bag and you think that people will not notice you. Definitely it's not going to be so. And as I already told you all, that the author lives in the city of Mysore, where the whole town knows about one another's movement, and when he travels in that gaudy car, everyone knows about that, and he feels that his privacy and anonymity gets lost when he travels in his imported car. And this actually leads to some sort of an embarrassment for the author. And why it leads to embarrassment? Because the author avoids public engagements and invitations, and he usually gives some sort of excuses whenever he was asked why he did not visit that place. So he has to face a lot of troubles by owning that imported car. And the most important thing that he loses is his privacy and anonymity.